Hello everyone, welcome to today's session on Python Introduction. Today we are going to understand first the comparison and Boolean operation and then the if and else conditional statement in Python. First, let's try to understand the assignment operator. So in my previous video, I have shown you that we can use a single equal to sign to assign a value on the right hand side to our variable on the left hand side. So this statement will assign the value of 8 to our integer variable a. Now let's talk about the comparison operator. So first thing to know about comparison operator is the output is always a Boolean type. So in output of your comparison, you will always get either a true or a false, depends on the condition you are comparing. So here I am using the greater than operator to compare the value on left hand side with the right hand side. Now we know the value of a is 8 and of course 8 is greater than 6. That's why in the output you are getting true. The second operator is the less than operator. Here I am trying to check whether the value of a is less than 6 or not. Now we know the value of a is 8 and of course 8 is not less than 6. So in output you are getting false. The next operator is the not equal to operator. It is a combination of two symbols, the exclamatory symbol and the equal to symbol. Now the not equal to operator of course compares the value on the left hand side to the value on the right hand side, and if they are not equal to each other, it will give true as output. We know the value of a is 8 and of course it is not equal to 7, hence the output is true. The last operator is a very interesting and an important one. It is the double equal to sign, or you can call it the comparison operator. It compares the value on the left hand side to the right hand side, and if we found the values are equal, we will get the output as true. Now here 8 is of course not equal to 9, that's why you're getting the output as false. But if I change the value to 8 and again run this block by click on this sign, you can see I'm getting the output as true. Now one important difference you should understand is single equal to sign is the assignment operator which assigns the value, and double equal to sign is the comparison operator. Comparison operator is always used in conditional statements to check or compare the values with each other. Next are the Boolean operations. So the Boolean operations, first we want to understand the AND Boolean operation. So if you take the AND of two true statements, so let's say 9 is greater than 6, which will be true, 6 is greater than 2, which is again true, and you apply the AND operation on these two statements, you will always get the output as true. Whereas if you use the OR Boolean operations on a true and false condition, you will get the output as true. Now these concepts, they are not Python, right? This is something which we have learned in our high school or during graduation time. The only thing we need to understand here is in Python you can represent AND and OR by using these keywords. The next Boolean operator that I want to explain is the NOT operator. So NOT is exactly opposite of whatever statement you are writing in front of it. So NOT of false is of course going to be true. The next important thing in Boolean operation is the evaluation order of these operators. So the evaluation order goes like, first we will evaluate the NOT, then our AND operator, and the last priority is given to the OR operator. So if you get a typical statement like this, you should resolve it first by using the priority to NOT statement, or to understand is more better, I have given this brackets to give priority to this. So if you evaluate this, the NOT false will be true first. Now once you have resolved your NOT statement, next you will go to your AND statement, right? So if I take an AND of these two conditions, true and true is of course true, and if at last I will go to my OR. So the OR of false and true statement is going to be true. So remember this evaluation order, it is very important because when you write a big program, these evaluation orders are very important. It can make or break your program. Okay, so the next topic for today is conditional statement. We know the value of a is 8, and now I'm going to use the value of a in an if block. First, let's understand how to declare an if block in Python. For declaring an if block in Python, you will use the keyword if. Next, you will give your conditional statements. So here my condition is whether a is greater than 0 or not. After giving my condition statement, I will use a colon sign, and after colon sign, if I press enter, you can see my cursor is blinking at this place, right, or at this position. Now this says, or this marks the start of an if block. In Python, we don't use brackets to mark the start or end of a if block or functions. We use indentation, right? So this indented block says the body of if block is starting from this point. If the condition is true, then our program flow will enter the if block and will execute all the statements which are written inside if block. Now as we know the value of a is 8, if I execute this block, you will get the output as a is positive, because as of now we have a single print statement inside the if block. Next, I want to explain you the if and else block. So the condition, when your if condition is not true, what will happen at that time? So for rest of the conditions, when this condition is not true, we have our else block. Whatever is inside else block will get executed if your if condition is not true. Now we know the value of a is 8 as of now, so if I execute this, I am going to get a is positive. Now I want to see how can I enter the else block. So let's override the value of a to a negative value. So whenever you want to override the value, you can just assign a new value to it and make sure you are executing this block. So once I execute this block, you can see or check the value of a is updated now to -5. If I again go and execute my if else block, this time the if condition is going to be false because the value of a is not greater than 0. In this case, my else block statement will get executed, and when I run this, you can see the program flow is entering the if block, and now I'm getting the output as a is equal to 0 or negative. Sometimes we have more than 2 conditions to be tested in our programs. So for those cases, we have if, elif and else block. Let's try to understand the if, elif and else block. First, if condition will remain same, the else condition will remain same. I am inserting one more elif condition between my if and else conditions. In elif, I can again give a conditional statements. Once I have my condition statement, I can give a colon sign and press enter. Of course, the indentation or the elif body will begin. I can again write some statements here which I want to perform when elif condition is true. For now, I want to say a is equal to 0, right? So my third condition is I want to do something special when the value of a is equal to 0, right? So for a greater than 0, I will get this message. For a less than 0, I will get a is negative. And for a equal to 0, I will get a equal to 0 message. Now as of now, if I remember correctly, the value of a is -5. So if I execute my if, elif, else block, I will get the output as a is negative, right? Let's override the value of a to 0 by executing this, and if I again check the value of a, it's updated now. So the value of a is equal to 0. Now if I execute my if, elif, else block, I will have this condition as true, and if you see in the output, I'm getting a equal to 0. Alright guys, that's all for today's session. If you have any question, please feel free to use the comment section. Please subscribe for more videos on Python introduction. Happy learning, stay safe.